Interesting headlines lately in the Justin Baldoni Blake Lively saga, all because someone has finally decided to come forward and tell the truth. And surprisingly enough, it's a reporter from the Daily Mail. Blake Lively's publicist is Leslie Sloan. Justin Baldoni and his team have been suing Leslie Sloan based on something they claim that she was saying to a reporter. Now, that reporter has come forward to say that that's not true. Now, the timing of when this reporter comes forward is actually quite interesting because on May 21st, Leslie Sloan's team filed paperwork to Judge Lehman asking him to compel the reporter from the Daily Mail to present all of his documentation, including these alleged text messages. The reporter is James Vituska, and he is allegedly extremely good friends with Melissa Nathan, who is the crisis PR manager for Justin Baldoni's team. Now, Leslie's paperwork claims that her team conferred in good faith with Vituska's counsel, and they just could not come and reach a resolution. So they had to reach out to the judge and ask them to compel Vituska's legal team to give them all the documentation in discovery. We first saw these text messages in Blake Lively's lawsuit. They were between her PR manager, Leslie Sloan, and the Daily Mail reporter, James Vituska. Now, we knew that the Daily Mail reporter was friends with Melissa Nathan right from the get-go. It was very obvious in the text messages that Blake revealed that he was telling Leslie Sloan one thing and then going behind her back and telling Melissa Nathan another story. It's also really evident that Leslie Sloan is trying to put out the fire that's starting with the rumors of Justin and Blake not getting along on set. Now, at this point, nothing had been said or spread about Blake Lively's accusations. She still was not commenting on this. So Leslie reaches out to the reporter and says, WTF is going on? The whole cast doesn't like Justin. Nothing to do with Blake. And James responds and says, like I said, though, the reporting is that there were issues between her and Justin, as well as others, and that Justin found it difficult to work with her. One of these reporters, known, is close with Stephanie Jones. Now, this is the owner of the PR firm that Justin Baldoni was working with before his rep, Jennifer Abel, left that company. She goes on to say, they used to always get Tom Brady, Giselle, and kind of goes on and says, I told them she's awful and to not rely on anything she says. So they're blaming Stephanie Jones. We already know that this has come out, that apparently, according to Stephanie Jones, Jennifer Abel and her team were blaming everything on Stephanie Jones at this point. Leslie continues to say, this is all lies. The whole cast hates him and everyone's just panicking because of that. She even says, the entire cast I will have go on record. And he responds saying, can you give me anything at all on what the issue is then if it's not her and him? So he's just trying to get the scoop. She responds telling him that she's on the plane and he says, sounds good, I'd like to clear this all up. When Baldoni came out with his lawsuit, he also had text messages attached, including where he was saying Blake Lively left things out, etc. Now, this is one of the things that he was using as evidence that Leslie Sloan was talking about the situation with Blake Lively. So this is James, that same reporter, but now he's messaging Justin Baldoni's team, and he has attached all the screenshots with Leslie Sloan. So he was showing them and telling them everything he and Leslie had talked about. In his writings, however, he wrote this. She said the whole cast hates Justin. This has nothing to do with Blake. And now she's saying that Blake was sexually assaulted. Why wouldn't she say anything about that then? She knows she's full of shit. She never said that. And Leslie Sloan has claimed that since day one, that she has never talked to anyone saying anything about sexual assault. So now this has happened. Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni twist. Reporter clarifies Lively's publicist never said Baldoni sexually assaulted her. So Baldoni's lawsuit against Leslie Sloan hung on this reporter saying this. So they claimed in the statement they wrote, Leslie Sloan escalated the false narrative by telling the reporter that Blake was sexually assaulted, an unsubstantiated accusation that not even Lively had gone so far as to claim, designed to destroy Baldoni and his reputation. So Leslie Sloan, of course, had filed to get this case dismissed, saying she never said that. Well, now the entertainment journalist who works for the Daily Mail, James Vituska, has revealed himself and said he used the wrong words. On Thursday, June 5th, he filed a signed declaration swearing that Sloan never told me that Miss Lively was sexually harassed or sexually assaulted by Justin Baldoni or anyone else. He actually went on to say that he did not authorize his private text messages to be used as exhibits in Baldoni's lawsuit. He says, in those text messages, my use of the phrase sexually assaulted was a mistake. I regret this error. This phrase was not in reference to any conversation that I had with Leslie Sloan. On June 6, Leslie Sloan attorney gave a statement saying, after being wrongfully dragged into litigation, Leslie Sloan has repeatedly stated that she never used the phrase sexually assaulted, which formed the basis of Baldoni's meritless defamation claim against her. And today she is fully vindicated by the declaration of James Vituska that admits she never said those words. The declaration also makes clear that the Wayfarer parties never even bothered to attempt to confirm whether the outrageous allegations they were launching at Miss Sloan were even true, because they were not. The Wayfarer parties attempted to ruin Miss Sloan's reputation with this vicious and wrongful attack, and she has consistently told the truth and justice has prevailed. Baldoni's team even buckled down on this in March when Sloan tried to have her lawsuit dismissed by saying that she and her company played an active and integral role in a conspiracy to inflict harm on the Wayfarer parties. Sloan conspired with her clients Lively and Reynolds to make scapegoats of the Wayfarer parties for Lively's woes. They even went as far as accusing Leslie Sloan of doing a PR smear campaign against Justin Baldoni, saying that she has a lot of high-profile clients and she's a master practitioner of the dark arts of public relations, intricately planned character assassination plots. And in one alleged text message shown in Baldoni's complaint, Sloan wrote, "I'm not paid to take people down. I'm honest." People are now saying that this could be a huge blow to Justin's case, especially the fact that his team did not investigate these accusations before throwing them on Leslie Sloan. People are now saying this could be a huge blow to Justin Baldoni's case, especially because his team did not look into these accusations before filing. As you know, when this case first broke, we had shared the text messages Blake Lively had in her lawsuit between Leslie Sloan and the reporter. And then when Justin Baldoni dropped his case, we compared them to the text messages that his team revealed that was between the same reporter and his team, and they did not match up. There were no text messages showing that Leslie Sloan ever accused him of sexual harassment or sexual abuse. The other thing that broke this week was that Blake Lively was dropping the emotional distress claims in her lawsuit against Baldoni. Baldoni's team, of course, came forward saying that she was only doing this because she didn't want to produce her medical records and have to give them to his team. It has now come out that that is just more clickbait and drama on Brian Friedman's part, trying to make Blake Lively's team look bad for a step that it appears the two of them had actually discussed. So on Monday, June 2nd, Blake withdrew the 10th and 11th causes of action against Baldoni, which are the intentional and negligent infliction of emotional distress. And the next day, the judge agreed. He confirmed that Blake had withdrawn her emotional distress charges against Justin, and he denied Brian Friedman's requests. Lively's lawyers gave a statement after the judge's ruling saying Miss Lively has offered to dismiss those claims because they are no longer necessary, and she will continue to pursue emotional distress charges through her other claims like she has with sexual harassment and retaliation.